everyone, it's Tiffany at the Wandering Mirandas. Today I want to tell you some more about what we did when we were in Texas and 12 places I recommend you visit when you go to Texas. This list is by no means all-inclusive, but it has some of my favorite spots. Some are well known and some are probably a little less known. We're going to talk about where you can see fossils, Magnolia, tubing, some small town recommendations that I came across, and so much more. So stay tuned. Okay, so one spot we had a lot of fun visiting was Magnolia in Waco, Texas. Magnolia is the creation of Chip and Joanna Gaines from the HGTV show Fixer Upper. It is beautiful, just like all of their creations that they make in the show. It has a baseball field, it has food trucks to eat at. There's a church, which was originally a church, and they've kind of remodeled it since. There are stores that sell the Chip and Joanna Gaines, the Magnolia line. Lots to do. It's a fun spot to grab a bite to eat and kind of stroll in and out of the stores. They have like little boutique shops along with some bigger stores, and Waco in general is a fun area. Okay, before we continue with our list, I would love if you could take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of family content about different travel destinations that are family friendly. The second place I recommend you visit is the Waco Mammoth National Monument. This is part of the federal park system, and it is really cool because you can see fossils still in the ground, how they were found by paleontologists. So they actually haven't removed them to bring them to a museum. You go and walk over the dig site, which has been covered in a building to help preserve the fossils. When you visit the Waco Mammoth National Dig Site, you will start with a nice walk, and then eventually you end up in the building where you can see the fossils. It is a small cost to visit. It costs $5 for adults, and then kids are either 4, 3, or 0, depending on their age. There are fossils from a family of woolly mammoths that are believed to have been stranded there at a watering source. They got stuck, and that's how the whole family of woolly mammoths became fossils. There's also some fossils from a camel along with a saber-toothed tiger. A visit here can easily be combined with a visit to Magnolia. They're in the same town and not too far apart. It probably takes about an hour to 2 hours to see all that there is at the Waco Mammoth site, but it's very cool to check out. My daughter also enjoyed the educational exhibits they have, like digging for fossils. The park rangers put these together, and they're great programs. My third recommendation for you is to visit Garner State Park, which is ran by the Texas State Park System. If you want to visit here, you will want to make reservations far ahead because it fills up quickly. So Garner State Park is located in the Texas Hill Country, and the Frio River runs right through it. In this park, there's tons of things to do if you're an outdoors lover. So there's camping, which is what we did. They have hiking. There's over 16 miles of hiking trails. They offer tubing, and you can rent your tubes if you don't have your own already. It's really fun to people watch as you go down the river. Here, there's actually a guy in that tree who ends up jumping off. I don't recommend doing that. It's not super safe or super deep, but it's fun to people watch. They also have camp stores where you can buy themed things after the campground, and they sell concessions, food, little things you might have forgotten, along with just some yummy treats. They offer ranger programs, and they also have nightly dance parties during the summer. This is called the Jukebox Dance. It started in the 1940s, and it's still going strong today, with all these different dances that everyone just seems to know. It's a lot of fun to watch and join in, even though I had no idea how to do half of the dances. I highly recommend this park. Make a reservation early, though. All right, my fourth recommendation is Canyon Lake. It is beautiful. To me, it looks like the Caribbean of Texas. There is actually a military side, if you're military, that you can use, and there's a public side of the lake. There's lots to do in the area. We just went to visit the lake for a day. There is camping around here too. It's a lot of fun. It's a good spot to cool off. All right, my fifth recommendation for you is to visit Bucky's. Bucky's is actually a rest stop and convenience store in Texas. It's in a few other states now as well. It is not just your usual rest stop, though. It is huge. It's like Walmart size inside. They have all kinds of food that's cooked right there. They have pretty much everything you might want to buy. They have this really cute themed beaver. It's just a very unique spot that when you're in Texas, you have to stop and check it out. Just trust me on this one. All right, my sixth recommendation is Castroville, Texas. This is a small town outside of San Antonio. It's actually kind of like a little version of Germany, if you will. It's like being in Europe when you come here. And it's just really cool. They have some cute little shops and a little coffee place to check out. It will not take up a whole day, but it's really cute to just walk around and take some photos. And also to check out this delicious bakery that is there. They have all kinds of yummy treats, and the prices are really reasonable. So we enjoyed our time in Castroville, and I recommend you check it out, especially if you're in the San Antonio area. All right, my next recommendation for you is the Barton Springs Pool in Austin. This pool is in Zilker Park, and the pool itself covers 3 acres. It's fed from underground springs with a temperature of about 68 to 70 degrees year-round. We ended up swimming in the river beneath it because it was closed, so be sure to check the hours before you go. All right, next up in Austin is just to explore downtown Austin. This is the Austin Capitol building. Lots of fun things to do in here. Beautiful sights to see. You can explore throughout the building. You can check out the museum. They have a visitor center with some fun little free souvenirs for kids. We really enjoyed this one. Then after we left the Capitol building, we went over to some food trucks. The food trucks are delicious. Texas is known as being like one of the food truck capitals of the country. Lots of unique creations, including a food truck just for dogs in this particular spot, although they are all over the city. It's a drivable city, and it's also walkable depending which part you're in. Austin is known for the slogan, "Keep Austin Weird." I would say this truck lived up to that. Congress Bridge is known for having the largest bat colony in North America. It's estimated that there are 1.5 million bats in this colony under this bridge, and you can watch them come out at night. I highly suggest checking this out if you have time. All right, so our 9th place to visit in Texas is Denison, Texas. It's a small town, but it's worth a visit. It has beautiful sunsets at night. And there's a lot of little things you can do here. This place probably won't fill up a whole day, but if you're into exploring small towns, this is one I recommend checking out. It's most famous for being the birthplace of President Eisenhower. It also has a fun state park named after Eisenhower. We mostly stuck to Main Street. We were just there at night. We took a stroll down Main Street. It was pretty empty the night we were there. We weren't sure what was going on. But we enjoyed playing the instruments that were set up for kids along the street. That was probably one of Eliana's favorite things. We also enjoyed a delicious dinner at Divoli's Italian restaurant, and I highly recommend you go to this restaurant. The prices are reasonable. It's actually on the inexpensive side. The food tastes so fresh and homemade. And we lucked out. The night we were there, you would have thought there would have been a wait out the door, but there wasn't. And there was live music going on that was really enjoyable to listen to as we took in our meal. We loved the atmosphere and the service here. After Divoli's, we just continued to check out the town, and I hope you take some time to explore the small towns in Texas as well as a lot of the bigger known places. There's so many more towns we'd like to go back and explore, but I can recommend Denison. All right, so my 10th recommendation is the NASA Johnson Space Center, also known as Space Center Houston. At the NASA Space Center, you can go inside a shuttle replica, Independence, which rests on top of a shuttle carrier aircraft, an original shuttle carrier aircraft. You can go inside there, and there's a museum which you can look around, learn more about this particular exhibit. It's really cool to be able to get up close to a shuttle. How often can you say you were up close to what a shuttle looks like that goes into space? They also offer all kinds of artifacts from outer space. There's an astronaut gallery with spacesuits. There is a Mars exhibit about future Mars space exploration and what they're planning. Lots of fun things about the moon. They have guest speaker astronauts every day, so you can listen to a real astronaut right there. They have a tram tour, which will bring you over to this Saturn V rocket, which is really neat. The tram tours do fill up super fast, so if you want to be able to take the tram tour, you want to sign up early. One cool spot that the tram tour goes is to the Space Training Center, where they actually train the astronauts to go to space. We didn't get to go in there because it's sold out, so take my advice and make sure that you sign up as soon as you get there so you can be sure you'll be able to see where real astronauts are training. All right, we're nearing the end of our list. Number 11 is Fredericksburg, Texas. This is a German-inspired town in Texas Hill Country. You can see a lot of German culture and influence throughout the town. It's a lot of fun to walk around and just window shop. Also, there's lots of fun stores to shop in, great spots to get those Texas boots. There are so many other things to do in this area in Texas Hill Country. There's wineries. This is part of Texas wine country. There are a few different museums you can explore. You can go on trail rides at multiple places. I just learned there's an elephant reserve. I'm really sad I missed that one. I'll have to go back. There's shopping and there's live music. It's just a fun town to go and enjoy a day out with your family at. We loved exploring the beautiful gardens near Main Street. We also enjoyed our meal at Clear River, which is basically a sandwich shop with a bakery and ice cream. It's a very kid-friendly place to stop for a quick meal. So we have one more place, but before we get to that place, I want to say I know I haven't gotten to all of the big spots in Texas that we should explore. I need to spend more time exploring Texas myself. So in the comments below, share with us if you've been to Texas, what do you recommend? Where are your favorite places to go? I'd love to hear from you. All right, so we've made it to number 12. My 12th recommendation is the San Antonio Riverwalk. There's really nowhere like this elsewhere that I've ever been. It's cool. It's part natural river, part man-made. It's actually below street level. It's lined with shops and restaurants. You can take a boat ride down the Riverwalk, which is what I'm on right now. The night we were riding, there was a show going on, so we went right by the show. I do recommend taking the boat ride at night. It's quite cool at that time of day. I purposely am not telling you a ton about San Antonio in this video because I made a whole separate video on San Antonio. It's where we were based out of the whole time we were in Texas. You can find that video linked at the end of this one, and it has 12 things to do in San Antonio, Texas. So if you're going to Texas, I recommend you check that one out, along with some of our other videos based around attractions in Texas, including Aquatica and SeaWorld. And I hope you'll subscribe to our channel for more travel-related videos.